everybody. Tonight we are going to talk about the video game known as Moons of Madness, a Lovecraftian horror sci-fi horror adventure. Moons of Madness was developed by Rock Pocket Games and was published by Funcom. It was released on Steam on October 22nd, 2019, and later became available after some delays on consoles on March 24th, 2020. A mysterious signal had been recorded from the Red Planet. The message confronted Orochi scientists. Their analysis broke it down and determined it was of intelligent origin. The scientists' management immediately concluded that the discovery was too sensitive for public knowledge and moved to keep it secret. In secret, the corporation began construction of Trailblazer Alpha, a state-of-the-art Mars research outpost designed to identify the true nature of the message. You play as Shane Newehart, an engineer stationed at Trailblazer Alpha, and your security clearance means you are completely unaware of the existence of the mysterious signal. Your job is simply to keep the lights on until the transport ship Cyrano arrives, bringing with it a new team to take over your duties. Soon you discover strange and unusual setbacks. Crucial systems are malfunctioning, the greenhouse is filled with a strange mist, and the rest of your team has yet to return from their EVA mission. Or EVA. Things are starting to fall apart. You begin seeing and hearing things that aren't there. Visions, hallucinations, or is that even what it is? Is this real, or are you slowly descending into madness? Experience the true cosmic horror. With your only hope of rescue hundreds of thousands of miles away, you will be forced to explore the real-world fears of isolation and paranoia, enhanced with supernatural elements and cosmic horror. Terrifying visions and monstrous apparitions will make you question what is real and what is not, as the very fabric of reality threatens to tear at the seams. Explore the darker side of Mars. Navigate a functioning Mars base in a game that uses non-fiction elements to immerse players in a believable setting. Overcome obstacles using computers, electrical systems, rovers, solar panels, and more. And then go beyond the outpost and explore the darker side of Mars. I have played this on PlayStation, and there's much you can really say about this, so I'm going to try my best to keep it simple. Number one, the game is really not that long if you really think about it. However, if you just follow the game of what it's trying to do, because, once again, it does feel like a walking simulator. And more of which, and I don't know why, but it's like a key hunting game. I don't know what is up with these key hunting games. And to me, key hunting games kind of ruined the adventure. Once you start realizing you need this, and this to proceed, it kind of, start to really crumble at the gameplay. That's like also how we just mentioned you get a rover so you can kind of like explore Mars, which is not even true. Because once you start driving in the rover, yes, it will drive for like maybe 5 seconds, and then it fades out, cuts back into your destination, and you're there. And then you got to get out of the rover, basically, while hopefully not dying from the lack of oxygen. So thankfully the rover also has an oxygen system to refill up your suit, so you do not suffocate on Mars. But yeah, there's really no world to describe, to really look on Mars. So it's more like you just get in, hit the button, and then you drive off, and you don't even control the driving either. it just automatically does it for you, which it's nice, but I would, for something like this, it would be more better if this was like an open world type of thing where you can investigate the landmark more of Mars. And I've started to notice a pattern a little bit. Mars seems to have a very interesting eye at the moment, I will say. And I'm sorry for that little pause, but it's really hard to really think of that word. Like, there's a really big interest in Mars, and Mars is starting to become the next thing for even horror or sci-fi, which, don't get me wrong, there's a lot going on with Mars with conspiracies, theories, how we once used to inhabit Mars and now we don't, or maybe there's some sort of life form still there, blah blah blah, etc., etc. However, though, I will say this. The game is so beautiful, so good looking, everything. Like, it is definitely a horror game in the aspect of isolation and everything else. Because as soon as you start to witness the monster that is coming alive because of the greenhouse, it's one of those things like, oh shit, like I am really in trouble. But then as you progress through the game and start to realize the scares isn't really there. It's more like Outlast where you just run and hide, or if you have to do something, the game basically says you have to do this. You can't defend yourself. You can't attack back, which, I don't know, that right there kind of made me go, wow, there really isn't much to this game then. I'm kind of glad I did get it on sale, which I would highly recommend. Wait for this game to go on sale. It's really not that long, and it is not really scary. If anything, what grabs you is the dialogue and the atmospheric world of Moons of Madness. It's so good. I even felt like there was some time where I thought this would have been like a great suspense scene of being in a like claustrophobic place to be chased down, or you got to defend yourself against this creature that clearly is plant life. But once you really realize once you fully realize what is going on, that's when the horror is taken away and you start to realize that this isn't that scary. This isn't scary. Not anymore, it's not. And it's a shame because I felt even Moons of Madness had more potential than like Through the Woods. Through the Woods is good in its own aspect, but for something like this where you could seriously do a lot. Like, look at Dead Space. I almost thought Moons of Madness were going to be almost like the next Dead Space, but unfortunately it does not live up. So, I don't know. I don't know what's really going on. I mean, I highly recommend Moons of Madness for sure, but just wait for it to go on sale. It's really... There's a lot more things that could have been given and put into the world of the Moons of Madness, I think, if the developers had more time with it to really say, like, hey, we could actually create something nice here. Maybe if we see a sequel, which I doubt because of the ending, which there is alternative ending, there is 2 endings, so... And the bad side about that, well, it's a good thing, really, but bad side is the replayability is very easy. So once you go and beat the game the first time, just reload your save. You don't even have to start a whole new game. That's the thing. And then try to figure out the next ending, which there's only two things you really have to do. So it's not that complicated to really figure out to get both ending. The monster design was fantastic. I thought it was very creepy. That's what made me wonder if, like, what this game was gonna bring to the table at the point of what we had at the time to really defend ourselves. Because we did have a running scene. And I'm like, oh man, we need like a flamethrower or something so that way we can defend ourselves. But then it lacks on that. It does not kill you really. There is one point where I think it can kill you, but it's one of those things where, like I said, it's like Outlast. You can't really defend yourself, so you basically have to run or back up while watching the monster in front of you. Other than that, Moods of Madness is amazing storytelling. It really is. I love the story a lot. I just really wish there was more to the horror or sci-fi element, because once the game gets toward the ending, I almost feel like it's almost like a Blade Runner or Alien type of vibe with the whole androids. And that's all I'm going to say. But check it out when you get a chance. I would definitely, like I said, recommend this game. The controls are not bad either. They're not clunky like some people say. It's simple, really. It really is simple. And it is scripted in a way where you have to do this in order to proceed. There really is no exploring, but in some cases there is when you have to look for specific items you need. But other than that, even the exploration of your environment, of searching and looking around, is really not complicated at all. So that is my thoughts on Moons of Madness, and if I had to give it a rating, I would at least give it an 8.5 out of 10. That is what I would think. Let us know, and let me know if you enjoyed Moons of Madness. If not, I'd like to know why, because, yeah, I just would like to know why. And, like always, I hope you enjoyed, and till next time, stay scary.